Hello, you're watching Kel67 Gaming, and we've made it into June.
Yeah,
Where the hell's this year gone?
not really sure to be honest.
But-
It's not really took that long, it seems.
It's flown through.
Yeah,
But what it does mean is that we've got another.
month in games.
So this was like, I think this was our first full month where we had shops open and,
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
because
Um,
the other month it was near the end where
Mm.
everything started to open up, wasn't it?
It was. So actually, we probably haven't got as much gaming in as we have previous months.
I
But
know that I haven't, but the games that I've played quite a bit through.
uh,
So
well, there is that. But nevertheless, we obviously have still played some games. They make some nice pickups as well, though. You might have watched the video dropped a couple of weeks back. We don't know, okay there. And continue to keep looking. It's great. The
Yeah.
shop's been open. But maybe we should just start where we always do and look at
the games we chose for each of our last month.
Exactly. So last month for me, you chose a game that I had played a little bit into, but then
Just
I
went
just-
on to other games.
I
like
just
something which I tend to do as well. I think it's something that every person who plays games does, but I thought might as well go back to it considering you started it.
so I did go back to it and played a bit more and got a bit more into the story. You picked for my Horizon Zero Dawn. So I got quite a bit further into this.
Now this is in a nighttime area, isn't it?
I'm trying to get to an objective here, but obviously it's night time and these machines are everywhere.
So you're going to try and do it stealthy, right?
Yep, there's 4 of them, so we'll take the first one out there.
Now that didn't look like much of a stealth kill.
That was a brilliant stealth kill. Even left the carcass in the long grass so that they can't see it. Wait a minute, he's getting a bit close. I'll just take him out.
Considering
The long grass.
Considering the massive spark of an explosion,
Well,
it's not really
we'll take
that
one out as
silent,
well.
is it?
That one I might have been spotted.
Yeah, you kind of messed that one
But
up.
it's
didn't you?
alright because I'll just take that out. Not a problem at all.
Now this doesn't look like the Aloy on the front cover. You've changed outfits, haven't you?
Aye, well, I'm in a different area of the map. Obviously I have to change again when I go to the Frozen Wilds. I just scavenge everything I can from there. I wish Aloy carried more stuff.
Is there no upgrades which you can do to make her carry more?
Maybe, I don't know.
You should have a look into that then, shouldn't you?
I don't know why I stopped playing this game if I'm honest, because it actually is really a really good game. I've really enjoyed my time with it again, building up more skills for my Aloy and uncovering more parts of the map and what have you.
I think the main reason is because more games which you want to play come out,
Well,
and then
aye,
that kind
aye.
of overshadows your wanting to play Horizon.
You get distracted by shiny things.
Yeah.
But I mean, a couple of months back, I played through a good chunk of Days Gone as well. And quite honestly, Days Gone and Horizon Zero Dawn are interchangeable. It's just like the same game with a different skin on it.
Just
you know.
set in different time.
Well,
Pretty much.
one you've got zombies, one you've got these corrupted
Mechs.
machines.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same mechanics and like I say, the same game. Story obviously different, and I think that's where Sony's exclusives have really been killing it. Is that the storylines of the games have just been brilliant, and they drag you in and they make you want to play it. So
Yeah.
I played a good chunk more of Horizon, and probably will keep playing that. Although
Hopefully not giving it up this time.
yeah, although you never know, there might be something
Shiny.
new and shiny comes along, and you just can't help yourself, can you? Sometimes. But for now, I'm enjoying my time with it. What did I ask you to play?
You asked me to play Borderlands 3, which is a game which I was meaning to get around to, but I just never did.
It's sat
It had sat literally in a pile of games which we had picked up. I was going to play it and then I just didn't get around to it, but finally have. So, shall I take a look?
Yeah, let's do that.
So here we are. Now this is me fighting Troy Calypso, who is one of the main enemies of Borderlands 3. Now, somehow he's male, yet a siren. Bear in mind, sirens can only be female.
Alright, okay. This looks like an old school shmup done in 3D.
Well,
That's different. It's like a bullet hell shmup, isn't it?
it's very different from the rest of Borderlands bosses that have been in this game and obviously previous ones. There's much more going on to worry about, especially in this one. So,
Like I say, it's bullet hell shmup.
yeah.
That's. I think I quite like the look of that. It looks it's got a little bit of the Ikaruga about it.
But yeah, I have my 4 weapons, which I've got an assault rifle, a shotgun, a pistol, and a rocket launcher, just in case.
You just keep firing with a rocket launcher, surely that's the best thing to do.
The thing is, the ammo is really bad and you don't get a lot, so there we go, defeated them.
And then he goes. So is it just more of the same, or is there some?
It's a continuation of the story, so it plays out the same, except for obviously some of the bosses, which you pointed out on. But it's still the same, like graphically wise, art wise.
But is there any like new game mechanics or anything like that?
There is some new things. Like obviously there's new guns. Like you've got guns with legs and stuff for some reason.
Alright.
Which can then be made into turrets and that. You've got a gun which shoots guns. But overall it's been a thoroughly good experience, and I have actually completed it.
Aye, and usually I pick you these games and you just don't play them
for
at all.
And then I play them for like an hour or two. No, I played through this one entire, like the entirety, which was 16 hours, 45 minutes, or something like that, according to the in-game timer.
Wow. Let's hope that this is the start of something, and when I pick your games, you do actually play them.
Yeah, hopefully, because it was a genuinely really good experience, and I'm thinking of going back to it as each of the classes, and then because obviously,
well, that could take some time, then, couldn't it?
I mean, if it's 16 hours is one, which I played the Siren for, I'm thinking Gunner next, and then gonna go probably the Beastmaster last,
No.
because just why not?
Well, we'll see how much time you get. I mean, obviously, it's
Yeah.
getting close to summer holidays. Maybe you'll get some time then. But you've enjoyed your time with it, and
Definitely have, and it's a game which I would definitely recommend to people who haven't played it.
I had to go at a game that's sat for a while as well, because I genuinely thought that you were going to play it, so I did. I waited to jump in myself, but you never bothered, did you?
No, because I was playing other games.
So I fired up the PS5 and put in Spider-Man Miles Morales. And since you never played this game, I fired up the PS5 and had a shot at it.
I didn't get around to playing it because of the other games which I've played. But is it as good as the other Spider-Man game that came out on PS4?
Well, it's pretty much the same. Pretty much the same game. It's you can see you'll instantly recognise this jumping about on the car.
Yeah.
Lark from the first game.
So is there any major differences apart from story?
Well, Miles has got venom powers that Peter Parker's Spider-Man hasn't got, so that it means that there's different ways to to solve puzzles.
Right, you messed that up, didn't you?
Well, but it's all right. We got there in the end. So with the venom powers, Miles can do different things. He can um, give and drain electricity from generators and things like that. So he can power up doors and stuff.
So he doesn't have to work ways around it. He can just
Aye.
open them.
Aye. Another happy customer there. You can see the ray tracing on the car and the flashing lights.
Because this is a PS5 game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I can call a cab. Gracias. You saved my life, sir.
So, like I said, this it's almost indistinguishable from the first Spider-Man game.
It's just a different story, isn't it?
Yeah, and this Miles has got some different powers which he can use to manipulate like the puzzles differently, and obviously New York's set in winter, so you get the snow, but it's
Well, I guess
objectively just the same game. It doesn't feel like a sequel.
Is it like more of an expansion?
It feels like like a standalone
Yeah.
expansion of the first game. Obviously, the PS5 version's got all the bells and whistles graphically.
But then again, with the deluxe edition, you got Spider-Man Remastered, which
Well,
does come with all of the same things, doesn't it?
bells and whistles on that as well.
Yeah.
So
But then again, I guess if people really
It's-
enjoyed it and then wanted more of it, they'd...
well, I mean, the original
that.
Spider-Man was such a good game that there's absolutely nothing wrong with essentially making the same game again with a different story, and anyone who liked the first one just simply has to play this because it is.
Well, I'll have to definitely play
Aye,
it.
it's a great game, and you got all the collectathons that you have on the original as well. Have you?
Well, you didn't even have that many on the original, to be honest.
Well,
With you had the backpacks, which, to be fair, if you wanted the extra suits and stuff, you'd get anyways. But apart from that, there wasn't really any.
it's not collecting for collecting's sake.
It was collecting for stuff that you genuinely would want.
Exactly, aye.
So it's
but-
not just because you would get a trophy at the end of it, which you would, but it's for
Well.
stuff that you'd actually want.
But if anyone hasn't played this one and loves the original, you've just got to.
Well, I think I'll wait till you finished it before I play it.
So what else have you played than the last one?
Well, this is actually going to be my last game for this month. As I did say, I didn't play that many. But this is another game which I have completed, and it is Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip.
You played a wee bit. This.
Yeah, Zombieland game, which they released along after the
Oh.
second movie, wasn't it?
Do you know what? I haven't seen any of the movies for a little while now. I can't even remember which one's Wichita and which one's Tallahassee.
Well, I'm playing as Wichita here.
Tallahassee's Woody Harrelson, isn't it?
Yes. You can play as Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock as your starting four. And then,
That makes sense because that's the characters of the film.
and then you can unlock some, which are Madison, who is obviously part of the second one, as well as Nevada. And then for some reason you can play as some of the zombies.
So obviously that's the old school twin stick shooter.
Yes. Now I have completed this game, and I have to say that is actually quite a good game.
Do you know, I don't mind the old twin stick shooters. I mean, nothing will ever be as good as Smash TV back in the day, but I don't mind these twin stick shooters at all. This may be a game that I should have a look at.
Yeah, it is really good. And this is one of the more final levels. I think this is mission 8 out of the 10 main ones.
Right.
As you can see, we're just in a shop.
Elvis Presley,
Yeah.
excellent.
Now, it is a really good game. as I said.
I quite like these twin stick shooters. You know that I don't like first person one. Well,
Well, it's
I'm-
not even.
I've
You've been
st- I've
playing more
I've-
recently.
I've started trying to get into them more, but the old twin stick, that's like takes me back to the arcade, and like I said, Smash TV and that sort of thing.
But genuinely,
But you don't tend to play these.
no, I don't. The reason why I play it is because I had it digitally on my Xbox, and it was sitting there because I was playing other games. I'm like, you know what? I really need to start playing some of the games which I just never really got around to, and this was one of those. And I've played it through. I've completed all the side missions, done pretty much.
Do you get Zombie Kill of the Week?
You can compete for
That's
it.
all I want to know.
You don't get a definitive one, but there is like side quests where you do go on to try and
You
get
can
it.
like drop a piano on the head and stuff like that.
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, you can use like environmental things and stuff. I think the worst mission is where you have to escort someone to
Oh.
somewhere else. And-
Every
But
game
the
I watch
thing
and
is-
this will just be
but-
like escort mission.
but then
You've
again,
lost me there.
it's an elderly person, so it's even
Oh.
slower. But it's only like one or two missions out of the game.
So your four main characters are you've got Tallahassee, Wichita,
Columbus.
Columbus, and Little Rock. Is Bill Murray on?
No,
Oh,
unfortunately not.
oh.
That was something which I was like, because I went back through the side missions like in reverse order, and I'm like, right, who am I gonna get? Because for finishing the game you get Nevada, so I'm like, all right, makes sense. Person who came in the second movie,
I'm telling you, you've completely lost me here.
and then
You've lost me. No pianos for Zombie Kill of the Week. No Bill Murray.
well, that's something that I was concerned about because you get to
And-
play as zombies.
Escort mission. I'm sorry.
You get to play
I'm
as no. Let's be honest. Why would you want to play as one of the zombies?
Well, I wouldn't.
Well, considering it's a twin stick shooter, how's that gonna work?
Well,
But no, it's quite a short 10 mission game, so it's quite easy to get through.
so maybe worth having a look at anyway.
Yeah, and I think it tends to go on sale quite a few times, especially during October because of Halloween and stuff, where it tends to be like £6 or something. So quite cheap, and definitely a game that I'd recommend if you can see past some of the flaws of it.
Of which there is a couple of glaring ones there.
Yeah, but still a good game nonetheless.
Do you know, I didn't go massively old school over the last month, but I did go back to a game from a good number of years ago now.
A few generations of consoles ago.
And I played a game on I played it on the original Xbox. It's Namco's Street Racing Syndicate. You love this game. What can I say? This is a game that I played to death on the PS2 when it first came out. It came out, I think, towards the end of the life cycle of this generation, so probably didn't get as much attention as you would have thought. But you can see, obviously, with it being a late release on the generation, it's graphically quite nice, and it's all done kind of open world, which was a really new thing back then. And this is a Namco game, so I guess it's kind of, well, it's not linked to their arcade races, in any kind of franchise way, but it's from that kind of. It'll be a lot of the same people, I would have thought, that made it.
Yeah, so they'll play out quite similarly.
But you can see I'm racking up score as well with.
Style points and
Aye,
drifting.
it's not just winning. You've got to win well.
Yeah, because if you do really well, you get respect and money, don't you?
You do.
So the more respect you have, I think, isn't it, the more cars or something you get?
Well, aye. But it's not just that. I mean, you have to win races and unlock new locations around the map, and
Yeah.
And actually, there's more than one map. You can jump around from Los Angeles to Miami and such. Like it's.
So it was quite a vastly
Aye.
based game.
Like I say, I loved it when it come out and played its death on the PS2. This is obviously on the Xbox, and I don't know if there's any real difference between the two versions. Like you say, quite
Finish
comfortably
first.
in first. Won my wager as well, obviously, because no one beat me, and a perfect respect points. All pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So this was one of the pioneering games of the open world racing genre.
You quite like racing games as well, don't you? So
I do like racing games, and this one, I don't know. It's a game that probably came at the right time for me. It filled that gap right at the end of the PlayStation 2's life cycle when I was excited for the PS3. So you didn't want to get into like a massive story driven game, and this one's the one that I played an awful lot of while I was waiting for the PS3 to launch. But it's a great game in its own right. Obviously, you know, those certainly on the first two PlayStations, you know, that sort of that kind of time period, Namco
Yeah.
was the king of arcade racing. You know,
well, kind
they'd
of
given
makes
you
sense.
Ridge Racer and things like
There
that.
was that many like instantly like hits for them, wasn't there?
Aye.
So
I mean, Namco was that was like a sign of quality on, especially on the PlayStation 1. You saw a game that had the Namco badge on it,
you would automatically think
you would
need
just
this.
buy it. Aye.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
so yeah, I played it the hell out of this over the last month. Not as much as I did back in the day, but I'd forgot how much I liked it, and you know, getting the style points and just
Trying to get like all the
unlocking
cars and
unlocking
stuff.
things, so it doesn't give you things straight away.
Not like other racing games, that
Aye.
arcade style.
Yeah, you also do knock your car if you don't drive it right, and you could end up winning race series and still losing money because you've damaged your car that badly that it costs more to repair it
Yeah, so it kind of
than you won.
you kind of have to like race more responsibly and
exactly.
sensibly.
You can't do that.
You can't do what
Just
you can do in
side
other
swiping
games.
cars off the road and stuff like that.
You actually have to pick your timings and stuff.
Aye.
Is it a game you're
So-
going to continue though?
Possibly. But like I say, it was a late life cycle one. I don't think that it did massively well. There might be some people that haven't played it at all. It's really cheap to pick up as well.
Well, considering it's like, I guess what you could class as a retro game.
But don't get into
Well,
that debate
I
over
wish.
what exactly is retro. I think it's retro, but
Well, it's a retro styled game.
well, it's
You know,
not. I mean,
arcade racing,
it's not. I mean, you still get arcade races now, but I think
but not as many.
it's on a system that came out 20 years ago. So to me, that's retro. Especially when you consider that 20 years ago, when the PS2 did come out, people would call the Super Nintendo and Mega Drive retro, and they were only 5 years from being discontinued at that point. You know, so to me, it's retro, but.
One made debate.
Other people might not have been aware of this game, might not have picked up at the time. Like I said, it's really cheap. It's a sweet spot at the minute. Although the prices are starting to go up again on PS2 and Xbox
Originals, yeah.
titles. So if you do see it, pick it up and
Might-
play it. It's brilliant.
I mean, to be fair, obviously some of them do hold their value over time at times, but
Well, but I mean, but
most
the
of
bottom
them tend to
dropped
go-
out
yeah.
this market. And I did play one other game a fair bit over the last month, and that was Saints Row 4. So it's Super Power Fight Club.
This is Saints Row 4.
Of course it is.
It's
Um,
over the top.
I can't even remember whose video it was. I saw somebody do a video on YouTube about Saints Row 4 and how completely over the top and just huge amount of fun it was. And I thought, I've got that game.
Well, it's on PS Now, and
Aye,
that's
yeah.
it's on a ton of things, to be honest.
But I'd
And
never-
even if not, it's very cheap if I remember correctly.
Probably is.
Um,
And I'd never played it, so I thought I'll
I
give
mean,
it a go and see what it's
I
like.
think I did, but I never fully completed it.
Well, I played Saints Row 3 a fair bit, but I don't know. I'd never played this one.
If I remember correctly, I played 4 and Gat Out of Hell, which was the expansion to this.
Well, what
Like,
kind of
You
put me
can't
off.
use your fists at that far of a distance.
I know. I was trying to pick a weapon, but I've got no weapons, just my superpowers. And that's kind of why I never played it. I think the first time around, because I quite like Saints Row 3. As a silly GTA clone, it was brilliant. But this isn't a GTA clone. I think this is a game that was initially meant to be just an expansion for Saints Row 3. Just instead of the GTA clone type mission, it was you can see you get all these superpowers and what have you. But
It
obviously-
seems as if Saints Row is getting more and more over the top each release, though, isn't it?
well, aye, there is that.
So-
Saints Row leaving here.
There we go. So again, a game that had been sitting around in the collection for a long, long time, and I just never got around to playing it.
How can I say that I'm very surprised that you haven't played a sports game this month?
Interesting.
Because that tends to be a theme for you, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I did something, and I did play some sports games. I just
Yeah.
didn't play any for any great length of time. But Saints Row 4, I did play a good amount of.
It's a very fun game, though.
Well, I
some of the activities are really good.
I probably picked the wrong time to play it, to be fair. Although I've really enjoyed it, it's essentially a superhero game, like a stripped down, bare bones, feels like a bit of an expansion rather than a full game superhero thing. And I played it the same month as I was playing Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So, although I had a lot of fun with that, it kind of there's a big difference in quality between those two titles there.
Well, one's meant to be over the top fun with obviously superpowers. The other's meant to be just as like a superhero game, really. So if you look at it that way,
But I mean, it's quite good fun playing through Saints Row 4 and just like playing mental pop culture bingo in your head, and the amount of
references.
films and TV shows and other games that they just blatantly rip off.
Like there's a Men in Black gun in one of the clothing shops.
The whole game is based around the Matrix.
Exactly.
I mean,
But then again, what's not to like about Saints Row 4?
no.
It's
Well,
one of
there
those
is that,
games.
and we never actually got a decent Matrix game, so this is probably the closest that we get to that.
Which is quite weird when you think about it.
No,
Considering there is genuinely licensed Matrix games.
there is, but they're not very good. Well,
Yeah.
on the whole, they're not very good. So yeah, that was everything that we played over the last month or so. Which means we're at the part of the video where we have to start looking forward to next month and what are we going to pick for each other.
What have you chosen for me?
Well, another game that's been lying about since you got it.
Tends to be a general theme, doesn't it?
It does
for me,
tend to be a general theme, and I want you to play this one,
Hard
Hard
West.
West.
It's a Nintendo Switch game, isn't it?
It is a Nintendo
So I
Switch
can
game.
play it just without the TV.
Well, you could, yeah. And I haven't played it myself, so I don't know exactly what it's like.
Well, no, 'cause-
But it looks very much like Zombieland, so you played through that and liked it, and it might be the same as Zombieland.
Definitely does. So if it is quite like that, 8 unique story-based scenarios, that could be quite good, to be honest. And it says it's turn-based combat, but
So it's not. It's got to be more like XCOM rather than.
or potential.
Zombieland.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
XCOM's a good game though.
I've never played XCOM. That's the thing. But what I've chosen for you is I'm gonna let you continue your Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Alright.
Considering you seem to be liking that
I
one.
was going to do that anyway, so that's fine.
Well,
by me.
might as well. Instead of giving you a game that you might not play or might not like, I thought, you know what, you're enjoying it, might as well let you continue it. So
Yeah, I would definitely play through some more of that. You just want me to finish it because you've now seen how good it is and you want to play it too, don't you?
yeah, that's kind of also a factor into it. So
But anyway, that's what we'll do over the next month or so. So thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already,
give us a like, a shiny subscribe, and turn the notification bell so you can affect when we upload, and we will see you in the next video.